like your past bosses, I can't speak right now.
I think you spoke perfectly right now.
I think you did a good job.
I can't grammar right. It's the freaking Mercury retrograde.
Oh my God, Mercury reggaeton. Mercury is in reggaeton.
Okay,
It's the mercury in my tuna.
what I was trying to ask is, have you guys ever had bosses or CEOs in companies that you worked in that were generally perceived to be overweight and tall guys, like big overweight?
Fat overweight guys?
Yeah, in like boss positions.
Oh, what is there like? You're gonna talk about like there's like an unhealthy boss stereotype or something?
Or no, probably that there's a correlation between like being big and fat and like being good at
Powerful?
business maybe or powerful.
None of my bosses were big or fat.
Yeah, same. I've had a big boned lady boss.
I had a lady boss too, but they're referring to male bosses.
I had a boss with a pot belly, but he wasn't like fat and big.
Did you work at a successful business?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's a. I mean,
It was a successful chain. Oh, actually, and the other male bosses were also hefty. Yeah.
okay.
The company I worked for made $3 million a day.
Whoa.
is that a lot?
I think so.
Because I don't even think that's that much.
Damn, Iceman. Shit.
Cold!
That's how it works, baby.
Cold! Burn me with that fucking freezing cold.
Dry ice.
It's winter time, everybody.
Oh no!
That's right.
Okay, a recently published research article from Cornell University found that weight among men is positively associated with perceived persuasiveness.
What?
In other words,
Is that why they say why you throwing your weight around?
is that a saying?
Yeah.
Never
Yeah.
heard of that.
Like it's like your power, your weight.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm gonna go in there and throw my weight around.
Yeah, your influence.
Never heard of that one. So they're saying here that overweight men in a workplace are thought to be more persuasive than average size men.
You know why? Because fat guys be like, hey, you want to go to lunch? And you're like, nah, I'm trying to be on a diet. He goes, you sure about that? You want to try this and that? And you're like, all right, I'll go eat with your fat ass.
He's like, no. He's like, no. I'm on a diet too. We're going to PF Chang's. And I'm like, Jesus, dude. It's like fucking candy chicken.
Yikes.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I'm
Chinese is
in.
yummy.
Yeah, so they're saying that, back in the day, like way back in the day,
How back?
overweight men were seen as very wealthy and like,
Oh, yeah.
Same with fat girls too.
right, because back then it was harder to come by with food. So then if you see someone that's overweight, you're thinking, oh, they're wealthy, they're doing some shit right.
Benjamin Franklin was fat as fuck.
I know, huh?
Benjamin
Back then,
Franklin.
everyone was starving.
Yeah.
So they're like, how'd you get so much food? I only get like a bean a day.
Like kings, yeah, for sure.
You fat fuck.
It's also funny to think about a fat guy getting his portrait done. And he's like fat as fuck. And he's got his leg up on a thing, like for whatever reason.
Like Captain Morgan.
So weird. Yeah. But they used to do that shit.
I mean, even these days, let's say I start gaining weight in a video, and it's noticeable in a vlog. Like comments be like, "Oh, Tim eating good. Money must be good. Tim's eating good." You know? I'm like, yeah.
Wow.
That's them being fancy. People are just like, hey, Steve, you looking fat as fuck. And I'm like, sure, thanks.
No one says that.
Well, it's getting better. Working on it.
That's how I feel about the rappers.
Yeah.
Like Rick Ross or like Fat Joe. Like there's just a certain presence to them.
They're both skinny now.
Yeah.
Well, Fat Joe's like Slim Joe.
Yeah, Slim Joe and Rick Ross is like pretty thin. Well, he's thinning, you know.
I trust fat people more.
With their food recommendations or just in life.
Just like they won't fuck me over.
What?
Well, when you talk about the hefty bosses being more persuasive, I do kind of remember a boss that I really liked. He a big dude, and he was just so like,
Jolly.
yeah, jolly. And he was like, hey, Tim. I'm like, hey, what's up, man?
Does his chair crack when he's talking to you? 'Cause that's also distracting if he's like, Jim, let me tell you about your future. And it's like,
If his chair's having a tough time during that conversation, that would influence it.
I have this stereotype of like fat guys being very friendly and jolly and not threatening, and
What about fat girls, Joe?
I don't have one.
Oh, okay.
I'm not allowed to have one. I'm not.
Thanks for clearing
So
that up.
what's the article about here?
Dude, this whole video, I just want Joe to elaborate on what he's saying. Anyway, so they were saying here that for women, the same assumption was not made about women.
Annoying.
Yeah, but however...
Everyone's scared too, that's why.
No, they're saying one of the experiments showed that heavier women tend to be expected to have a better sense of humor. So they were more...
Damn, if you're a fat girl and you're not funny, that's rough.
That's true.
I always say, and I've said this before, it's like when you're somebody who didn't grow up as like people calling you hot all the time, you develop a better sense of humor because, or personality even, because you kind of
Fit in.
You gotta make up for you gotta get attention in different ways. You know what I'm saying? That's why I always say, yo, short dudes are where it's at. You know, tall dudes get the attention as soon as they walk in, with the exception of Steve, of course.
I don't get that much attention.
Yeah. So I feel like tall dudes walk into a room and girls are like, oh, this motherfucker's tall, right? But like short dudes, we gotta bring it back down. So I feel like we're usually, you know,
Look down here, motherfucker.
yeah, we're funnier, you know, better dressed,
Or meaner.
smell better, or meaner if you got the
Yeah.
little man complex. Yeah.
Napoleon.
Yeah.
You were building a good case, and then Tiff came and was like, "Fuck no, get the fuck
Because I've
out."
known some really, really bitter.
Well, those are the insecure
mean-
ones, yeah.
The short guys are just like, don't fucking, like that angry bagel guy. He's
Yes.
like constantly
Oh, God.
angry. Or, I mean, for him, I think he's doing it on purpose, but they're actually real people like that.
Well, if you make anything, if you go into the extreme with anything, you become very annoying. Like
Yeah.
if you're extremely obsessed with how short you are or how tall you are, you're fucking weird every time.
You're so insecure.
It's like guys who go to fucking masculinity message boards and talk about how they want to be more masculine and shit. It's like, dudes, you guys are getting too obsessed with this shit. Like it's annoying.
Any type of obsession.
True. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So for this one, they were saying that bigger dudes, it gets more positive.
No, that they tend to be viewed as more persuasive.
And they get all the sales on the pants at the department stores. Because they always have
They
them.
don't run out.
Yep, that was
No, and so they're saying
Big
too
boy
that
sales.
in a work environment, they're seen as someone that you can trust more because of like what's ingrained in us from. So like they're saying like before the Industrial Revolution made food cheaply available for everyone. That's when larger men were viewed as like, oh, you're doing some shit right. I gotta follow what you're doing. So they'd be more easily.
Like they're like the rich guys. Back then, because before money, it was like, where'd you get that food?
How'd you get that, babe?
Because now it's like you kind of think of that about guys that are super rich. You're like, how'd you get that money? Can you teach me? And then if someone's fat back in the day, you're like, man, I'm skinny as fuck. I only eat like one fish a week. How you eating fish every day?
Right. I mean, dude, here we have fat homeless people.
That's true.
It's pretty crazy.
Buff ones too.
Buff ones?
I've seen some ripped ones.
Really?
Damn.
They're jacked.
But if you go to most other countries, like their portions are smaller, their food's cleaner, like more organic and all that shit, right? And then most people are just smaller in frame.
Yeah, even when you just cross over to like Canada, like when Chia first started coming over here, she was shocked at how different the portions are between like, let's say McDonald's out here and McDonald's in Canada.
Really?
Yeah, she'd be like, what the fuck? Or she would go grocery shopping, she was like, yo, this is crazy, these portions. Or she would like show me what a small coffee was in Canada. It's like this big.
That's a baby's coffee.
Yeah. So even just right up there, our neighbors up north, you know? Mad different
weird
portions. The weird ones.
I went to Denmark and got McDonald's and I thought I was getting ripped off.
Because it was so small?
Yeah, it was fucking small.
It's
It
small and
was-
expensive.
Yeah.
Damn.
I don't even know why.
Yeah.
It's communist, that's why. Communism. Everything's
Nice.
communism.
Nice. Everything's communism now.
Yep. No, I'm just kidding. It's not a communist country.
No, just
I
say
mean,
it's communism. That's fine.
Yeah. I'm an American, so everything else is communist.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I think that there is something wired in our brains about like fat people. I don't know if it's cultural or biological.
And it's not just being fat though, it's like just like tall and bigger because they're saying like
Bigger presence?
There's a bigger presence, so then you end up looking towards these men for leadership.
There's also more gravity in things that have more mass, right? True. So then they suck things.
So they suck you in.
That's true. I mean, when I think about my favorite sitcom dads too, I think of like Carl Winslow.
He's fat.
And Uncle Phil, rest in peace. Yeah.
Screen, they do pull me closer to the
Yeah.
screen with the gravity too.
Well, that's true. When you think of like fat older guys, you think like comfortable and like
Jolly.
Oh, yeah, jolly and yeah, like Santa Claus.
Santa Claus. Yeah.
And then if you see a skinny older guy, you feel sorry for them. You're like, oh, does this guy have a disease?
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't get that, but
Like Mr. Burns,
I hear you.
Yeah, Mr. Burns.
he looks like, uh-oh.
The Grinch.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Right. Oh, compared to like the Grinch.
Mythical creations.
Well, so is Uncle Phil.
So true. Very good example. No, Uncle Phil, like you could see him and he was actually big.
Like in your life.
Yeah. Who's a skinny sitcom dad?
They don't make them. They're not
Al
that fun to
Bundy?
look at.
He's not that
Okay,
Al Bundy
Danny
was
Tanner, dude.
Huh?
Danny Tanner.
Danny Tanner.
Danny Tanner.
Oh,
Full House?
Full House.
Bob Saget.
True.
Yeah, I guess.
I didn't trust him.
No. Because he was skinny.
Right.
Damn, that makes sense.
He wasn't persuasive.
But he doesn't seem like a leader though.
No, he seems like a pushover.
Yeah.
Have you guys?
Yeah, he was like trying to figure out how to raise all these kids on his own. That's why he had his brothers help him.
Yep.
Have you met anyone who actually watches Fuller House?
No.
I haven't either.
I tried.
Was it good?
I think there's a fucking full-blown conspiracy on this show. Who's
Is it on
actually
Netflix?
watching the show?
Well, I have a confession. is that I never watched Full House.
When you were a kid?
I didn't think it was funny as a
For me, it was Family Matters.
Oh, you never watched Family Matters?
What?
See, I would.
I watched both of those.
Step by Step was my shit.
Step by Step.
Family Matters was my
Good.
shit.
Which was Step by Step.
It's like the modern day Brady Bunch.
I can't even remember a fucking episode of that show, but I
don't know
watched
what
it
that is.
every week.
Right.
I remember
It's the modern
fucking
day Brady
Cody. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I remember him.
Google it.
What's Step by Step?
So it's modern day Brady Bunch. So it was this guy that had kids, but they weren't all one gender. So he had kids from a previous marriage, and then the mom from another marriage, and then they got together.
I just know that.
Never heard of that.
I remember the intro.
I used to call it the roller coaster show because it opens with the roller coaster.
And I always thought, oh man, they're at the Six Flags I go to, because I would see the same ride, but then I would see the waves and the beach, and I would
Yeah, I
get
was like,
confused.
what is it?
Yeah, because as a little kid, I couldn't understand that there was multiple Six Flagses.
How do you say multiple Six Flags? Is it Six Flags I?
Six Flies.
Yeah, I was tripping out when I found out that there was a Six Flag in North Cal.
Right.
And I was like, wait, you have a Magic Mountain? They're like, no, it's called Six Flags.
We had a place called King's Dominion that was my Six Flags. It was in Virginia.
King's Dominion. That sounds so lame.
It sounds
I
scary.
remember going on the ride, it's this roller coaster called the Grizzly with my dad and my little brother, and it was fucking like so rickety rockety. My dad had to hold my little brother in the ride to keep him from flying out.
Wow.
It was pretty janky.
That's what it sounds like.
King's Dominion. That place sounds like it has sticky floors.
Oh yeah.
No, it sounds like it has fucking dirt
It
floors.
sounds like somewhere a Harry Potter fan would go before they had the Hogwarts thing.
I just want to ride the Rickety Rockety.
Rickety,
Oh, dude.
I want to feel like I'm about to die on a roller coaster.